Okay, so I got on social media yesterday and just going through some people's, feeds or whatever. I was a little shook, to put it lightly. You think the internet can't get more of the internet, like it's the wild, wild west, until it does. And then you're like, okay. If I was starting my fitness journey and I was solely relying on social media, I would be so confused. And the problem here's the problem, is I personally, which I know, I can pick it out, but I know I follow like 5 or 6, different fit influencers. And honestly, some of the things are like completely opposite. Eat more, eat less, make sure you do a deload week where you don't work out at all, or you go really light. Lift really, really heavy. Don't lift heavy. The one that kind of sparked my shookness is pretty much don't work out because it's causing you to gain weight. I'm going to let that sit there for a minute. And here's the thing. That video, really, it was not entirely wrong. So it's good to listen to these things. But I'm also like, are people really understanding that? Because I don't think so. I think people take that message away and think, I should just not work out as much. When her point was, you really need to control what you're eating, which I think is a good point. I think it's a valid point. But, and now I'm seeing it more and more, is we have to say these crazy statements to even get people drawn in to watch, because that's how the algorithm rewards the creators. And I'm like over here just trying to spit out some truth to help. And I'm like, I'm not going to compete with that, because I'm not going to say stuff like that just for clicks and views. And I'm, again, not trying to put down this other creator, but I'm like, I don't know. And I'm not going to say people can't say, what they want to say. Anyways, but what I would do if I were on day 1 of my fitness journey and it's the new year and I know it's 9 days later, what is it, January 9th, January 8th? But what I would do, this is what I would do. Number 1, I would log my food for a week. Now, what's going to happen when you log your food is you're going to eat less, is what's going to happen, because you don't want to log it. It's like a mental thing that happens. And then from that, I would calculate how much you're eating from that. Use FitnessPal. And then after that, take off some calories. There's a couple of ways, but I would do it strictly through what you're eating and not movement, not exercise. And I would do between, and this is like just an estimate because I don't know you personally and what your goals are personally, 200 to 500 calories less. If you don't want to count it, that means maybe taking out a snack, maybe swapping out some foods, okay? A bag of potato chips for some fruit or some vegetables, things like that. And then do that for 3 months. If you don't see the scale move, month 1, then we need to reassess. Either you're not in a true deficit, or for the 1%, there might be something hormonally going on that could be causing weight resistance, or you could be on medications. I don't know, all of the medical part of you, but that's where I would start. And number 2, I would find someone on Instagram who is in your age range, who is in your stage of life, kids, no kids, super busy, stays at home, like whatever that is, because they're out there, and follow like 3 of them, maybe just 2, and then see what they have to say. And the reason is, and this is a big one, this is wild. So research, I was reading this other influencer, which he's a PhD, Dr. Alan Bacon, and he was basically recapping the things that he has changed his mind on in the fitness and nutrition space. And one of them is that if you're the same size, you burn the same amount of calories. And from what he was sharing is that research is actually showing that there can be up to a 500 calorie difference between someone of the same size. That's wild. 500 calories, that's a lot. So the reason that's important is because, and I'll tell you why, because for me personally, that made sense to me, because on my personal fitness journey, which I'm 5'11", I am tall, I'm going to burn more calories because I weigh more than someone who is 5 feet tall, a petite woman. And when I'm following accounts and they're showing me, and everyone has opinions about everything, but they're showing me what they eat in the day, and their protein goals and their calorie goals. For a while, I'm trying to lift really heavy, and you need calories to do that. And I also am running around with 3 little kids at home. I'm burning a lot of calories, and I'm burning a lot more calories than someone who is more sedentary in a different stage of life. And they could be lifting, they could be working out. But the thing is too, working out alone, what you do through your cardio and your strength training workouts is like a blip. It's like 10% of how many calories your body burns every day. And some people are like, what's the point? Which there's plenty of health outcomes. That's the point. That's the big deal. But anyways, so I was in a point where I would get really lean for my body frame, but I was not seeing the muscle definition that I wanted to, how I personally wanted to look. So what does that mean? I need to build more muscle. I need to eat enough to support that. And, I'm seeing other things where you don't have to be in a true calorie surplus to gain muscle. You can be at maintenance. But the thing is, that's all helpful, but we have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. So like me, I'll see something, I'm like, okay, I'm going to change what I'm eating now and then do something different. It's like, no. You have to be firm with your goal for at least 3 months. At least. And that's, I think, the bare minimum. So you got to give it time for it to pay off and for it to work. If you get to month 3 and you're not seeing what you want to see, then you can reassess. But I think too, for the majority of people, that's why it's really important to work with a coach, because if you don't start there, you're going to be really frustrated because you're going to be changing. You're going to be continuously changing, and it's going to be frustrating because you're on this hamster wheel that it feels like you're on, always changing, always spinning your wheels, trying to figure out what's the new thing to do. and you're not going to get any progress. Me personally, I'm on this journey of eating more because I think I think I genuinely undereat. I do not think that's a problem for a majority of people, but I think it is for me. I think I burn more calories than I think I do. And so I'm just eating more. It's not crazy. I'm not eating like 1,000 calories more, but I'm eating more. And then I'm being strategic with what I'm eating. That is more lean protein and more sources, fruits and vegetables. I mean, I'm eating more of the stuff that if you want to be healthy and have a body that looks good, eating good food that supports that. Man, 2026. I don't know how this video is going to age, but I think 2026 has started off crazy. And I think it's going to be one of those years, honestly. And maybe I get to the end, December 2026, and it's like, you know what? Okay, that was pretty good. Like, we made it. But man, the last week, I don't even want to get on social media now, because I'm just like, what are people going to write? And sometimes it is really discouraging as someone who is a personal trainer, who is trying to get more clients, who is trying to, help people understand this fitness thing and working out and getting it done in your day and motivating you and encouraging you. I see this stuff and then I'm just like, what a mess. And I'm like, it discourages me a little bit. And I'm like, I'm in this space. I know people are going to say stuff that's like wild. So, anyways. And I feel like I keep harping on this too, but I'm like, look, if you're not where you want to go, if you're not where you want to be, you need to hire a coach. You just need to. Okay? You don't need the top fancy ones that are hundreds of dollars. You just need someone to help you with your goals, check in with you, hold you accountable, make out a game plan. It's not hard. It's not hard. But if it was easy to do and implement, we wouldn't even have this discussion. We wouldn't have an obesity epidemic in our country. Okay? So there's a bunch of moving parts that are impacting why we are where we're at. But hire a coach. That's my advice. And I'm not saying hire me. I'm saying if there's someone that you resonate and you want to change, seek those people who are in those life stages and who have the same goals, and hire them. And if you search, on Instagram, there's, I'm sure, plenty of coaches that you can find that are not charging an arm and a leg, who have like 1 million followers. Okay. If you have the budget for that, great. But if you don't, maybe don't do that. That's all I'm saying. So anyways, but I hope that was helpful. And if you have questions, you can just message me, because I'm here. I will answer questions. I will look up questions. I will research questions. I love it. And then it helps me to be a better coach. So if you have a question, I'll look it up. And then honestly, sometimes I'll look it up and then I'll do a whole article out of it and then research it and then do a video. So it's win-win.